Alright, folks, this is video 3 for Learning Target 3 Bio. I'm going to jump right back into it. So we just talked about monosaccharides, and we talked about 3 examples of monosaccharides. We talked about how the word disaccharide just means that it's 2 monosaccharides linked together. So mono, 1, just 1 unit. Di, 2 units. Whenever you have 2 units, it's made up of 2 monos, right? If that makes sense. It's made up of 2 monos. And I talked about how you want to know that maltose, lactose, sucrose are the 3 disaccharides, and just how you go about making, or how you go about getting these disaccharides. You have glucose plus glucose gives you maltose. Glucose plus galactose gives you lactose, and glucose plus fructose gives you sucrose. Okay, moving on. Next, we've got our polysaccharides, and at this point we should know this definition, but just in case, review here. A polysaccharide is a sugar molecule with more than 10 units. Actually, you know what? You didn't know that definition. At this point, all you know is poly means many. So right now, I'm defining a polysaccharide not just as many units, but more than 10 units, right? A polysaccharide is a sugar molecule with more than 10 units. Okay. So I'm going to go in here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. This is what I want. Polysaccharide. Didn't come out the way I wanted it to. You know what? I'm just going to write it. Alright. A polysaccharide is a sugar molecule that is made up of, let's say, 10 or more units. Okay? If I want it to look like the rest of them, it's got to be Comic Sans. Make that 14. Bold. And green. Which green did I choose? Let's go with that one. Alright, there's my definition for polysaccharide. Perfect. So there's a bunch of examples you can give me. Anything that's a starch that we eat, right? So rice, pasta, potatoes. Cellulose is a good example. Yeah, so those like any of the major types of food, any of the starches plus cellulose. I don't think I'm gonna trick you or give you anything beyond that on your quiz. So again, if we're thinking about polysaccharides, we're thinking about like 10 or more units being linked together. I just want to show you. Let's go with cellulose. So this is what we're looking at here. It's this repeating over and over and over and over again, right? Let's see if I can find a better. This is probably a better glimpse of what we're talking about. Not that you need to know all this stuff, but I just want you to get the feel that it's 1 unit repeating itself a bunch of times, right? Okay, cool. Moving on. Simple and complex carbohydrates. So all monosaccharides and all disaccharides are considered to be simple carbs. Okay, cool. So we're going to go back to our definition sheet here. So simple carbohydrates, all monosaccharides and di, that means monosaccharides and disaccharides, are classified as simple carbs. Okay, cool. All polysaccharides are classified as complex carbs. Okay, cool. All right, there is our, we're done with the table, right? Hopefully you went up here, oh, sorry guys. Hopefully you went up here and you shared it with me already, and I can see it. So this is one check, right? You have a couple checks you need to get through before you can take your quiz this week. This is the first check, so if you did, pat yourself on the back. Going back over to my slides here. Alright, so you are at the end of my notes. So this is your second check, right? Your second check is you answering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions for me. Here's the deal. You can do them on a piece of notebook paper, and you can take a picture of it, and you can upload it onto Schoology, or you can text it to me. That's completely fine. Some of you have been doing that. That works for me. Another way you can do this, guys, is you can make another Google Doc, right? Make another Google Doc, and just what I would have you guys title that doc is Week 4, Slide 15 questions. And please don't forget your name, right? Week 4, Slide 15 questions, right? And if you look at this, it's Week 4, right? Slide 15. These are your questions. Pretty simple. Answer them on that. Make sure you share that doc with me. So this is your second check, right? So first check is finish definition table. Second check, these questions answered. Third check, you're taking a picture of your biomolecules table. Showed me that you got this part of it filled out. I don't need to see the rest. All I need to see is your completed carbohydrate section, right? That's the third check. And then there's one more check, which is going to take you more time, I imagine. But who knows? I'm not you. So the last and final check, the fourth check, is this carbohydrates packet. I'm going to open this real quick here. You don't really need to download this one, I don't think. But again, I'm not you. You always have the option. Man, my computer's slow today. Whew. It's driving me insane. Wait for it to download. Here's the deal, guys. We have a reading and some questions. Most of the questions you can find in my slides, so you don't really have to read it all. But this is what I'm going to say. The questions can be found on page 7. And page 8. It's a word search. You can't do a word search. So you're not going to do this this page. I don't know what I was thinking. You can't do a word search on the computer. I mean, I'm sure we could figure it out. I'm going to say you don't got to do this section. So it's just page 7, guys, okay? So you're going to come down here. You are going to answer as many questions as you can with my notes. And then the questions where you're like, Christy didn't talk about this, they can all be found on pages. I'm going to give you specific pages here. Page 2, page 3, and page 4. That's it. Okay, so your job is to fill out this worksheet, and if it use my slides, and if it's not in my slides, it's either on page 2, 3, or 4. So just scan the document, guys. Do Control F if you're looking for like inexpensive, right? This word inexpensive. Say I'm looking for the word inexpensive. Control F that's not going to work. But you know what you can do? You can do this. Inexpensive. I didn't even hit Control F. I just put it in the search. But you do have to make sure your spelling's right if you do this. Right? It popped up here. Does it pop up anywhere else? I'm rather curious now. Anyway, the idea here is that it should pop up anywhere that the word is, right? So if you have a really specific question down here, and you're like, oh, there's a keyword, inexpensive may not have been the best example. So if I go back down to the questions again, moving my face, if I go back down to the questions again, let's come up with a better example here. A blank is a disaccharide found in cow's milk. Milk, that's a great keyword, right? Milk is a great keyword. So I'm going to put in MILK. I'm going to hit enter. It pops up here, but I also imagine, guys, that it's going to pop up in the disaccharide section. Oops. Let's click search again. Milk. That's weird. Milk. Yeah, there it is. I'm not crazy, guys. So the trick with this is that you have to be on the right page. So it's only going to pop up if it's on the right page. So that means if you're trying to find something on page 2, you can put in a keyword, type it in here, and then you'll find it. And I think this is the way you should answer those questions. I'm going to recap for you guys. Also, I have it in the slides too. I have a little recap slide. If you go to slide 16. So 6 vocabulary words added to the vocab list. Check 1. Complete the carbohydrate section of the biomolecules table. Check 2. Complete questions on slide 15. Check 3. Answer questions just on page 7. You don't need to do page 8. So answer all questions on page 7 in the packet that can be found in the folder. Again, you can answer these questions in your Google Doc, or you can answer these questions on a piece of paper and you text me or upload a picture of the document, whichever works. Once you finish these 4 checks, you can take the online quiz. I'm not putting it up yet because I know this is going to take a day or so for you guys to do. It gives me time to make my quiz. If you have any questions about this unit, please email me, call me, text me, message me on Schoology. Make me feel like I'm useful. And if not, I hope that you guys have a good week. Oh, one last thing, folks. I decided to upload a direction sheet for the week, right? So the direction sheet, if you open this up first, just follow the directions and you will end up taking a quiz at the very end, right? And you'll get through all the checks. All right. I hope you have a good rest of your day and a great week. Peace.